Okay, 6th grade, here is the rest of your test review. We're going to start with number 8, the 42.3 times the 1.8. And again, remember that you don't have to worry about lining up the decimals and multiplication. These just happen to line up. I'm going to make this decimal point a little bigger. So we'll start with multiplying 8 times 3, that's 24. So we carry our 2. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 2 is 18. Carry the 1, 8 times 4 is 32, plus 1 is 33. On the second row, remember, placeholder 0 there. And now we go 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 2, we'll cross those off. 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 4 is 4. Then we add those up. We get 4, 11, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then we count how many numbers come after a decimal place, and we see that there are 2 up here. So we're going to come down here and move it over twice, put our decimal in there, so we get 76.14. Okay, so problem number 9 is another multiplication, and this time you can see that the decimals are not lined up. So we're just going to multiply with the 3. 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 7 is 21, carry your 2, 3 times 9 is 27, plus 2 is 29. And then we count our decimal places, and we see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers after a decimal, so we go over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it goes there. So our answer is 2.9163. Okay, moving on to number 10. We would multiply 2 times 6 is 12, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3, and we don't see anything else to multiply. Let's count our decimal places, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers after a decimal place. So we're going to go over the 2 here, and then we have to go 5 more places to make 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put my decimal there, and I have to add 5 zeros before the 3, 2. Okay? That way that there are now 7 numbers after the decimal. So I'm going to write that a little neater. We get 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 3, 2 is our answer on number 10. Moving on to number 11. Whoops. Fix that. Okay, moving on to number 11. Let me erase that blue line. We have another multiplying. So 7 times 8 is 56. All right, here, let me try again. 7 times 8 is 56, carry the 5. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 5 is 40. We're just going to put that down because the next one's a 0. Placeholder 0 on that second row. 3 times 8 is 24. We're going to carry the 2 up here. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17. And then 3 times 0 is 0, plus the 1. So we're going to add those up, and we get 6, 4, 11, carry the 1 and 2. Count up the decimal places, and we see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to go over 5. There's 4 plus 1 more. Add a placeholder 0, and our answer is 0.0214. Okay, so now we're on number 12, and we're going to multiply by 4. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 7 is 28. Carry our 2. 4 times 9 is 36, plus the 2 is 38. And then 4 times 5 is 20, plus 3 more is 23. And then we're going to count our decimal places, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we go over 4 places like that, and we get 2.3884. But if you look at the problem, this was money, and that is not normal money. So we need to round to the nearest cent. And remember, the cent place is the second place after the decimal, where that 8 is. We look at this 8, which would make this 8 go up 1. So we have 2.39. Okay, these stay the same. This one is the one that either stays the same or goes up, and then these go away. And now that looks like normal money, $2.39. Moving on to number 14. Here we are, let me look at my paper, rounding to the nearest hundredth, okay? And in number 14, the 9 is in the hundredths place, so we would look at the 5. The 5 would make the 9 go up, and it makes the 9 go up to a 10, which, remember, if it makes it go up to a 10, that means it has to carry over to the next place, and so that would equal 621.30, and we can drop that 5 away, and really you don't even need that 0. So that would be it. Okay, so when you have to round a 9 up, it goes up to a 10, and it makes the next number go up. Okay, so let's look at number 15, still rounding to the nearest hundredth. The 4 is in the hundredths place. Looking at the 3 would make the 4 stay the same because it's less than 5. And so we just have 0.04, and then these can just go away because we are done with those numbers. Number 17, we are rounding to the underlined place. And here the underlined place is a 6, so we look at the 5, and the 5 would make the 6 go up. So we get 45.057, okay? The place underlined either goes up or stays the same. And this one it went up, and then that went away. On number 18, rounding to this place with the 2, we look at the 1. A 1 would make a 2 stay the same. Okay, so we have 5, 2. Anything before a decimal like this 1 would change to a 0. After a decimal, you can write that they changed to zeros, or you can just drop them off. So really, the proper answer would be 520. Okay, on number 19, we're rounding to the largest non-zero place. I can't remember if we did number 19 or not, so I'll go ahead and do it. The 2 is in the largest place that is not a 0. So we look at the 4, and the 4 would make this 2 stay the same. So it would be 0.002. Okay? And number 21, the number that's in the largest non-zero place would be this 2. So we look at this 6, which would make the 2 go up. So we get 0.0003. Okay? And then we drop those other ones off. In the next section, we're rounding to the nearest cent. So again, we look at the cent is always the second place after the decimal. Always. So we look at the next number after that. The 4 would make this 6 stay the same, so we would have $25.76, and that is proper money. On number 23, the 8 is in the cents place, so we look at the 2. The 2 would make the 8 stay the same, so we'd have $158.68. Looking at number 24, this 8 is in the cents place, so we look here at the 9. The 9 would make the 8 go up 1. These all stay the same, 35.7, and then that 8 would go up to a 9, and then these would go away, and we'd have $35.79. On the next one, 25, we are comparing, so we're going to look at see which one's bigger or if they are the same. And so we start here with the first place. We have zeros and zeros, then a decimal point here and here. Then we have 2 zeros here and 2 zeros here. And then we see 7, 8 here, and we see 7, 8, 0. But remember, after decimal, we can add as many zeros as we want, and it doesn't change the answer. So these two are actually equal. On number 26, we have 0 before the decimal. Then we have 0, 0, and over here we have 0, 9. Well, since 9 is bigger than 0, this one is bigger. Remember, we always make it where it's open to the one that's bigger, like it's going to chomp it down like an alligator. Okay? All right, on number 27, we're going to go look at, there's a 5 here, a 0 here, and the next number here is a 9, and the next number here is a 4. So this one is bigger. And again, it's open to the biggest one, just like it would chomp it down. Number 28, we have 9, 2, 3. These are both the same. Then we have 0, 0, 4, 4, 3, 3. And then over here we just have a bunch of zeros, which doesn't change the answer, so these are exactly the same. Number 30, we're just ordering these from greatest to least. And again, we'll look at these first places. They have zeros in the first place. They all have a 0 in the place after the decimal. Now, if you look at the next place, this one's a 0 here, and this one's a 0 here, and this one's a 0 here. But this is not a 0, so I automatically know that this one is my biggest number. So I'm going to put it down here. Now, if I look at these other ones, I see a 6 here, an 8, and a 7, and I can just order those now. So I'm going to go 0.00678, then 0.00768, and then 0.00876. Okay, and here's our last problem. So we are going to order these, and again we're going to look at the numbers that are before the decimal. We have a 5, a 5, a 5, and then we have these two are zeros. So obviously these two on the bottom row are smaller. So we look at the second number on just these two, and we see a 5 and a 2. 2 is smaller than 5, so this 0.2305 is the smallest. The next one would be 0.5032. Okay? Now we know that those are done. We'll look at these top ones, and we'll look at the number after.